Hi, welcome to Critical Misspell.
I'm Juan, and yeah, this is Critical Misspell.
we probably should sort that out before next week's show.
We should sort a proper intro.
Yeah, we probably should. But yeah, welcome to be here. Go on.
It's only our second show. There will be mistakes, probably till our 100th show if we last that long.
Yeah, and if you spot a mistake and you put it down in the comments below, we will send you love and respect. maybe. So what we got tonight? We are the giveaway and review is Draw Steel, which oh my god. How have you found that? I was like, really?
We made a big mistake. We made a huge mistake. Those are massive books and a lot to go through in a week. And to say that my going through of it was scant, to say the least, just due to time constraints. But you know, I've got some things to say, so it's okay.
Yeah, I managed to get a couple of characters created and had a little bit of a fight and a play with it. So I will be following this up with a full review on my other channel. So yeah, welcome all. We've got loads of comments already. This is really good.
Gosh, wow.
Yeah, so obviously we should probably explain the rules. For a chance to win a PDF copy of Draw Steel, all you need to do is comment sometime during the video. Say anything reasonable. Brit, and we will do the draw at 9 o'clock. I've got a new wheel because Juan.
Wow,
yeah, I've searched high and low on the internet for a new
wheel.
Well,
colour me excited then.
Yeah, and I'll show you that. So at 9 o'clock we're gonna do the draw. Obviously we're gonna start with news, I think, and then we're gonna get into the review. And then we're going to talk about rules light versus rules heavy systems, which actually it's kind of segues really, I think, from Draw Steel because so if you had a good week anyway, how's your week been? All right.
I've had a busy week. It's been kind of nuts. It's been one of those weeks where I've been sorting a lot of things out and don't feel like I've achieved very much.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's important to have those weeks now and again. I've sort of cleared the deck of kind of niggly little things. I've had a few kind of interesting commissions come in that I think I can talk about. I'm working on a massive project that I can't talk about till August, but that's killing me a little bit. But I've been asked to illustrate a weird skirmish miniatures game about weird robots, which looks really exciting. So
that's cool.
Looking forward to doing that.
Yeah. I had a couple of really good emails yesterday. I put them on my Discord. One was from Arcane Library. So I will be selling original copies of Shadow Dark at the expo.
Oh, fantastic! Please keep a copy for me because I would love.
Okay, I'm starting to see this on my Discord. Well. yeah. People on Discord are like, right, okay, yeah, I want a copy. And I had an email from Bob Worldbuilder about doing some things which kind of blew me away because you're not expecting those sort of channels to even know who I am. So,
well, he's started doing a fair bit of Shadow Dark stuff, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Because he did Delve, which I fondly reviewed. And then,
I must admit, I do quite like his channel. It's always quite interesting.
Yeah. But it's one of those, isn't it? When you get an email out of the blue, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's super exciting.
So yeah. Annoyingly, I can't talk about it like you and your projects.
Welcome to my world of NDA pain.
Yeah. Should we start with the news?
Let's go with some news then.
Hold on. You made a video, right. Didn't you?
We did. We made some cards.
Here we go.
There you go. It was brief.
It was brief and a lot quieter than last week.
Yes, it wasn't as deafening. So it's a pretty quiet news week because we are still in the early throes of January. So in no particular order, we've got Paizo have 2 new books that are coming out at some point this year, Impossible Magics and High Seas. So I haven't touched Pathfinder for a very long time, so I don't really know a lot about it. But if you're interested in it, that's pretty good.
I like it, but I'll never play it again.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Fair enough.
It may be a bit of spoiler of when we get into the rules heavy versus rules light.
I see. Still no news from WotC about a D&D release plan for this year, but the big news for them is their Stranger Things box set is very hard to get hold of, apparently now, their most recent one.
That is a strange thing.
Isn't it?
Bad jokes.
Very bad. Terrible. Draw Steel's first adventure path, Crack the Sun, has finished its kind of crowdfunding with over 2 million in sales, which is not as high as what the actual game made, but I think for an adventure path, I think that's pretty good still.
That is big, isn't it?
You know,
but
yeah.
It's probably not cheap though, is it? I don't think so. I had a quick look on the all in, and I was like, do I? So
yeah. But it's done very well, so that's quite good. EN World's most anticipated RPGs for 2026. The vote has closed, and the results will be out next week. That was the list we were looking at last week to kind of figure out what we were excited about a little bit. And lastly, which is one I'm actually quite excited about, is Blade 68. So kind of a 1960s fantastical version of Blades in the Dark. That's coming to, I think it's back a kit. Might be Kickstarter within the next couple of weeks. So I think that news came out today or yesterday. But yeah, pretty excited about that. That's all the news I've got.
Okay, I'm going to do a couple of comments, and then I've got a couple of bits of. I'm going to try and force everyone to spend a little bit of money. Obviously, Shadow Dark is. Oh, that's someone had put another video comment in, so it popped it up. But we've got Shadow Dark is pretty hard to find in the UK, but I have found out from Arcane Library today that they are having a UK distributor, so there's a good chance that my books will be shipped from the UK, which hopefully makes them a lot cheaper when I get them. I'm just going to bring on Jeff Whitty's comment here about Delve. There was a few people that weren't overly happy with the Delve version. I've seen a few comments, and Bob and I were talking about it today, that because obviously I'm very aware, and he's very aware, that he is more 5e than Shadow Dark, but as we both agreed, there are lots of different versions of Shadow Dark, if that makes sense. It doesn't have to be Kaus's vision, if that makes sense. So that's me sitting on the fence. Heart Attack news section. No, it's quiet this week. It's definitely quiet. But I'm getting Chiara. Is that? Says best card ever. There you go.
If you like that, you're going to like the rest of them as well.
Yeah, we've got Rob with Mathwind.
Yeah.
And then Stranger Things is the biggest disappointment in recent memories. I waited a decade for it to be out. Suffered through season 1. It was such a rubbish. I wanted to love it.
I really liked it.
Did you?
I did. I mean, I might be a little bit biased because I made props for the 3rd series of it, but I know I thought it was very good. I thought the ending was quite good as well.
Yeah, you've got that big poster of Winona still on your wall, haven't you?
Of course, yeah, obviously.
I didn't get past. I don't think season 2. I don't think I got past season 2. My kids love it. My wife loved it. I probably shouldn't call her that anymore. Probably should watch this in case someone's watching. But yeah, so yeah, they all just sat down. I think the finale came out New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So they got up
that's right.
early New Year's Day to watch.
I think in general it suffers a little bit from what I think a lot of kind of modern TV shows suffer from. That they end up being a bit stretched. Like it's kind of like you've got 10 episodes to tell a story, but you could have told it in 4. And I felt that with a lot of modern TV. So
yeah, that Alien TV series was the same.
Oh God, stuff so well, but
yeah. By episode 4, I was like, this is great. By episode 5, I was like, oh come on, skip to the end.
Yeah,
skip to the end. So I've got a couple of bits of news where I'm going to try and get someone down. I thought this might be a useful segment because I don't know how many people are aware of these, and I'm just going to try and share this first. And this is the Bundle of Holding website where you can pick up amazing. So it's like Humble Bundle, but they've got a couple of really good ones, I think, for older people. Well, we've got Burning Wheel, which people like. I've never actually read it, but I keep getting told it's something that I should look at. But I think this is 1st edition Burning Wheel that's on here because this is from 2019. But these Dread books, everyone loves Dread, Thinganominagon, and the monster ones and stuff. And there's a Mortborg one currently with a load of PDFs. Champions 6th edition, which is a very good edition of Champions. And if you want any award-winning adventure that I still need to come back and do the review for, I was sent a copy of this in about, and that's Painted Wasteland, which is probably, it's going to be up there, like one of the prettiest but weirdest sort of adventure. It's fair old school essentials adventure that's out there. And there are a couple of Humble Bundles. Someone put it in the comment about a Humble Bundle. Bob World Builder has got one and just launched. If you're a Cthulhu fan, then there is. You can tell I'm talking slowly because I'm trying to get to the share screen. So there is this Bob World Builder. If you're a Dungeon Crawl Classics fan, there's currently 7 days to go at time, but 99 items for £30 is pretty insane.
That's a good deal.
That is. There's a lot in there. Did you see Ben's video? He's had to do a retraction. Questing Beast.
Oh, yeah, because he kind of he wasn't too happy with DCC, was he?
No, and
then
he
he's come back and he must have got a lot of hate for that, I think.
He did. But so I'm not gonna comment on Ben's video because that wouldn't be right. But yeah,
genuinely, I think his reviews are quite fair. I must admit, I haven't watched his DCC one, but maybe I will.
All he was doing was criticizing the layout of the adventures, basically saying that there's a fair bit of additional work you have to do compared to other
I feel like we've done that loads in the past.
Yeah. You know, but it's his personal opinion. If he finds it difficult, I don't think there's much wrong with him in saying how he feels about it. But yeah, you've then got this Cthulhu one as well in there. So, and there's a lot of great stuff in here. And this Reign of Terror has the best starting for any campaign. Maybe Cthulhu is probably that you ever get. You basically start walking up the gallows during the French Revolution.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the event. I'm not going to sort of spoil it any further beyond there, but you can also take that adventure and include and throw it straight into the Horror on the Orient Express as well. So if you want to flesh that out to be even longer, it goes through fine.
Cool.
We've got some comments. I think Ben prefers rules light. Yeah, it would make sense. See, everyone thinks Ben is. I know Witty's a fanboy. Witty just draws for them as well, doesn't he? So his reviews are fine, but phrased it inadvertently because YouTube algorithm and clickbait. That's what we need to work on.
Great. I'm dreading the shorts you're going to make out of this, to be honest.
Yeah. I'll have a bit of fun. 20cc found it 5 children's tables and playable table. It's probably great on a VTT, which you do not enjoy. I think that's probably fair. Again, I'll talk about that when we get to rules light, rules heavy. You know, VTTs when it can do a lot of the heavy lifting, it does seem to make things a lot easier, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Right. Are we doing this?
Should we get into this review then? We've both been putting it off for too long. It's got to be done. Come on.
It's got to be done. Okay. Draw Steel.
Okay. I can say one thing. Quite a lot of positive to say about it, actually. I must admit, I was not expecting to like this at all. I think I've made it very clear in a lot of the reviews we've done together in the past. I much prefer a rules light kind of system.
Yeah.
But I will give it this. It is very clear from the outset what it's all about. You know, it doesn't pull any punches. I think fairly close to the beginning, it says what it's about: cinematic, action, fantasy, heroic, and gives a breakdown of what it's trying to achieve with all of that. So I can't really hold that against it because it's very upfront with what it wants to be. So I thought that was actually quite refreshing in a way, you know. So yeah, that was
beautiful. I was going through the book and I think the artwork is amazing.
I have some issues with the artwork.
I know you will do.
It's not necessarily related to Draw Steel itself. It's just something I've noticed. I will totally agree with you. The artwork is masterfully produced. It's really high standard. But if you took the artwork from this and held it up next to 5e, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Cosmere, all the big RPGs that come out, you would struggle to be able to tell them apart. You'd be struggled to be able to tell which game they belong to. They don't, though they're very well produced and they're really quite colorful, very high end. They don't have any identity. That's my problem with it. And it's a trend I'm seeing throughout a lot of the bigger role-playing games at the moment.
Yeah, I'll probably get shot by Matt Coble for saying this. I think it looks so nice because it looks quite AI in essence, and
It's got that. Do you know what?
It's got that look to it. But I want to draw your attention to this. This is probably one of the best things I've ever seen in a role-playing book, which is just the ancestries that are in the book as this like church window. I stumbled across this and I was like, oh, the artwork's good. And then we'll just, and the rest of it is this, which I say, it looks nice. And you're right. It's just, the other thing I find weird is how it's all perfectly placed in. There's very few text over images where it's sort of built in. Everything's box text, box art, isn't it? There's very
that's right. Yeah.
Like this, of actual
spot illustrations.
But the bloody text, oh,
it's a bit small.
How tiny
isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And there is walls and pages of text. This is 417 pages.
I'll be honest with you. I picked it up. I was quite surprised because, like you, I looked at it and thought, oh my God, this is huge. It's tiny font. It's going to take forever. But I was amazed at how quickly I was able to kind of pick things up with it. I got a general idea of the setting fairly quickly, an idea of what the game was about. Even the core mechanics I sort of picked up fairly quickly and then got very lost after that. But I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it wasn't as complex as I thought it was going to be.
Okay, I think it's very complex.
Oh, so don't get me wrong, it is very complex. It's just nowhere near as complex as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Interestingly, on a scale of D&D 5e to Pathfinder 2nd edition, would you put it in between those or more complex than Pathfinder?
I think it's beyond Pathfinder.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have thought it's somewhere closer to Pathfinder, but I still think Pathfinder.
It's just because once you get into all the powers and abilities, but because with Pathfinder you don't get all the meta currencies either. That's
my big complaint. There's a lot you've got to keep track of.
Yeah, you've got to keep track of all your victories because the longer you go before you have a respite, so it's not a long rest, it's technically a long rest. So every combat or social interaction you have that you win, you get a point, and that just gives you more meta currency at the start thing. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Chris thinks it's nowhere near Pathfinder. I may be wrong, and I'm happy.
I think it's in between D&D and Pathfinder myself, but the main issue is the actual system itself. I don't think it's that complex. Keeping track of everything, I think, is what's complex.
Yeah. So,
particularly for the GM.
Yeah.
Sorry, director.
So Dewing gave us 5 areas: art and layout, rules and systems, settings and theme, character creation or character options, and then value for money. So I think it just makes sense if we just go down. Okay. Yes, very much so. Draw steel it feels in essence.
Yeah.
To me, it does feel like that. So art and layout. I think we accidentally just got into that.
We did. Do you want to give that a score out of 5?
Yeah. So obviously, I've got issues with the walls of text where it's too small. I do like the art in essence, but if you're going to take it from a layout point of view, from a reading, I thought it was actually laid out really well, as in going through the sections made sense. Other than the fact that there's quite a lot of, this is kind of spoiler for another one, the theme isn't separated. The theme and the world is very much wrapped into the rules, and you have to sort of pull it out and find it yourself. So as the director, I think you've got your work cut out to run this.
Absolutely.
So I'm going 3 out of 5 for that.
Okay. Well, just because of my comment, because I didn't feel the artwork gave it its own identity.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have too much of a problem with layout. Small text was a bit of an issue, but picked it up reasonably quickly. I'm giving it 2.5.
Why don't we just go out of 10 if you're going to do halves?
This is the only half I'm going to do.
Okay.
It's just because I wanted to be right down the middle. If the artwork had a bit more identity to it, I probably would have given it higher. But it's just a bit. Yeah. It's very good. It's just a bit bland.
Yeah, I think you being the artist, you're allowed to be more critical, because I just look at it and go, that looks cute, or whatever it may be. So I'm happy with that. Rules and systems. I think we'd probably just try and get through the rule system. So it's 2d10 instead of a 2d20. You add them together. You then get to add your characteristic or abilities to it. You may get to add some skill slots to it. You may be rolling with edges or banes, which will give you an additional +2 or -2. Or if it's double plus bane, you just get to go to the next tier level. Right, I'll take a breath. Ultimately, you're looking at 3 results. So 11, adding them together, 11 or less is tier 1. 12 to 16 is tier 2. 17 or more is tier 3. That's it. That's it in a nutshell.
What do you think? So this was, I was thinking of you a little bit when I was reading this.
Yeah.
What do you think of the idea in combat that nobody ever really misses?
Like it.
I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I mean, it solves a massive problem that I have with D&D.
Yeah.
In that no turn is really wasted. But I was on the fence with that one.
Yeah, having ran 2 characters against each other, because what I do is I create a couple of characters, then they have a fight, and I go, okay, I've got the basis of a game then, if that makes sense. So, it's not broad, but it kind of gives me an idea of what's going on. The fact that no turn is wasted and you're always advancing, I really like, because when you strike something or attack something, there'll be 3 different things. So depend on the tier, you either do some basic damage, some good damage, or a ton of damage. I think it works really well. But again, you're in that Pathfinder 5th edition realms of combat is slow, and I don't know whether that's because I didn't know my characters, but I think in general you're going to get into very, very slow. I'm not a massive fan of the bell curve, but I think that's the reason why the lower tier starts at 11, because technically that's the average roll on 2d10.
I'm similar. I kind of thought it was okay. It's I'll tell you what I think it's tried to do. When I was reading it, I was thinking, well, what was maybe the designer thinking? It's almost like they've taken what don't I like about 5e, and how can I fix it? Combat is such a huge part of this game that I felt like, right, that's the big issue. I like the whole kind of risk reward with taking a rest thing. That was brilliant. If you take a rest, you can regain health or stamina, I think it's called, isn't it? But you lose your victory points, so your thing that powers your kind of abilities. So that risk reward is brilliant. I really like that.
If man agrees, it's the small text is only a problem for old people like us, actually.
Yeah. We don't wear glasses because it's cool.
No. I think I need to replace my glasses about every 3 months. They just seem to deteriorate too quickly.
The main issue I have with how complex it is system on top of system. The systems themselves aren't complicated, but there is a lot to keep track of. And I always look at these things as, would I play this game? Yeah, I would. I'd give it a go. I think I'd be too intimidated to run it, to be honest with you. I don't know how you felt about that.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to leave that to my conclusion.
Okay. I feel like, though that being said, I feel like the character classes do seem to have quite a lot of flavor. I did like that. I didn't really like the names of some of them. I thought they were a little bit misleading, like the
censor.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking about. The paladin. It's like, why do you want to censor people? That's really weird, And, some of the namings I was a bit off, but they all have a lot of flavor. That was quite good fun. I'm gonna jump ahead. I'm actually gonna give the rules and the system a 3 out of 10.
Are you?
Sorry, a 3 out of 5 rather. Yeah, because I actually think for what it's trying to do, I think it's actually doing quite a good job at it.
Yeah, see, I'm giving it a 5. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I'd probably give it an extra point if the character sheet was in the book.
Well, that's into characters, not maybe.
But,
I think it's absolutely brilliant as a game, as a rule system. And rolling those 2d10 on the bell curve,
I would be. I tell you what. The other thing that kind of put me off the whole kind of thing is that the whole book is kind of gearing you up for running a campaign.
Yes.
Everything it talks about is progression. I know there's, you can build your power up in a single session of a game, the way this sort of works, which is quite an interesting concept. But at the same time, I would have liked to have seen kind of maybe a slightly stripped back version as like a practice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It kind of needs like a free edition that you can give out. You know, like you can play
a
Warcraft
quick
up to
start,
level 20.
Yeah,
for
something
free.
like that. Yeah,
yeah.
That would be quite good.
So I guess we're rolling straight into settings and theme. Are you writing these scores down? Because I'm not.
Yeah, I've written them down.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And mine, yeah. So we're going to.
Oh, hold on. What were yours? So you gave
I did a 3 and a 5. I've got them. I've actually got them down. So yeah, so I'm an 8.
I feel like you're secretary sometimes.
I know, and you're really bad at it.
I'm terrible. I don't know why you asked me to do it.
It's because of the clothes you wear.
Oh, is it? Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. So setting and theme, I think you've started rolling into that as it is. Let's just pick this one up from Leo. So Story was not the death obsessed like the OCR games. No. Yeah,
that's a good point. Actually, I kind of thought if a character's going to die, I almost feel like it's going to be on the player's terms rather than the GM's.
Yeah.
You know, it's a funny one.
Yeah, that's a good point from Chris is saying. The PDF Delane Tomb adventure is there's lots in there. I think there's 8 pre-made characters, rule book and sort of stuff. So yeah, it's an absolute bargain for what's in there.
Okay,
Bill's here as well. So hello, Bill. I've now singled him out because I haven't directly said hello to anyone else. That's kind of it's just because it's just popped up here saying hello. So and we are secretly having an affair.
I knew it. I knew it.
But yeah, I say I like the setting and the themes ish, but I don't want to read 417 pages to find it. I kind of
I felt
here's your lore dump.
Yeah, section. It's kind of like the setting bleeds through here and there, and it took me a little while to figure it out. It's kind of fantasy, standard fantasy-ish with some changes and maybe a little bit of very light sci-fi thrown in for good measure.
Yeah, it's that fence sitting. What sort of game do you want to play? Well, you can play whatever game you want. Which it's really good for some people, not necessarily the best thing for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I would have. I'm like you. I would have liked it all in one place. You know, where I could see, right, okay, is this a setting that I would use? Is the rules that I would use, or just setting with a different or play it as is? You know, that was the thing. But having to go through the whole thing to find everything else. So I gave the setting a 2.
Yeah, I'm on 2 as well because it just did feel very generic in essence as well, and I think that's probably why they've got adventure books coming out. You know, because we probably should say this does feel very much like a Games Master's Guide and a Dungeons Master Guide wrapped into one. So it doesn't really give you a lot of world building. Character creation then. Yeah.
I feel like, I didn't do character creation because I didn't have enough time. I had too much on. But it looked like it was going to take a while.
Oh, yes.
To the point where I was going through it and I was thinking, right, you pick your ancestry, then you pick your class, then you pick your career, and then you pick your kit. And I thought, oh my God, you're going to need like 3 session zeros for this.
Yeah. So yeah. See, from an options point of view, so you start with ancestry, then your culture, then your career, then your class, and then your kit, which obviously only the non-magic people can use for the kits. Then you get a complication, which is really good. So that's like a merit and a flaw. So that is very good. But yeah, it's not fast. You're not getting to the table in less than probably an hour. And I think we will see that thing, like in 5th edition, where there are people that are making a career on YouTube out of builds.
Yeah.
And just, taking all the way up to level 20. I know this game's capped at 10, but I think we will just see there's going to be an awful lot of channels just appearing because I do envision this game being very, very big.
Yeah.
For the right person.
I think that's it, isn't it? But it is clear about what it's about. So yeah, for me, character, and I did download one of their character sheets just to have a look at it. And it's not as excessive as I was expecting. I think I always bring up Pathfinder 2nd edition's character sheet, just something like 6 pages. Yeah, and it's like, come on, and it's brown or something. I don't know. That graphic designer needs shooting, I think. But maybe it's not brown. Maybe it's my colorblind eyes. Is it brown?
The
Pathfinder one in the back of the book.
The Pathfinder. Wasn't it green?
Oh, it could have been green. I thought it was brown. Anyway.
I don't know why I'm doing that with my hands, like it makes a difference. It's like when people go, "What's the date?" and you look at your watch. You know, what day is it? Tuesday.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought the actual graphic design of the character sheet I found on their website was actually quite good. It wasn't overwhelming or anything like that, but I must admit, going through character generation, I thought, no, not for me. I like all the options. It's great that you've got all those options, but I think my main problem with this game is I think you would need the majority of people around the table to be really clear about how to play this game.
Yeah,
it would be very difficult to have a whole table of kind of very new people to RPGs to play this game with, I think.
Definitely. I'm just conscious that I haven't written down any of the names for the draw. This is going to take a while at the end.
Okay.
We have to get a filler section. So what's your score for character creation?
Character creation, I'm going to give it a 2. Mostly because it looks like it's going to take a long time more than anything else. Go on, what are you giving it?
It's a 5. It's the options in here are utterly incredible. Because of the subclasses, you could easily all have exactly the same class and be totally and utterly different. You know, so it's utterly amazing. It builds on what 5e does for me. And you can basically create whatever character that you want. This is going to be an ongoing theme. We're going to be rowing for weeks over books, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, So we're getting some comments here. We're both on. Yeah, we're definitely both on the same page on this. I think Chris is. I think you're right. It's it's the image I'm having, the issue I'm having with our Cosmere campaign, because everyone else has read the books, they're really into the world. I'm just along for the ride and hitting things with my sword. I kind of know what's going on in the adventure, but I don't know anything else, and I haven't got time to sit and read 27 novels to sort of catch up with what's going on. I'm enjoying the system, but. Okay, value for money. This is going to be so low for you, isn't it? Because
you're trying to say I'm tight.
It's what you get. You've got 2 books. You have to buy 2 books because there's no monsters, but it's about 800 pages across. PDF is about £50 in this country, so that's what, $70. And if you buy physical copies, you're looking around about £110 here, so that's what, $140 US. Someone like that. So how low are you going for value for money?
Well, given the volume of information you're receiving, I will take that into account. So I'm going to give it a 2.
I honestly think. Oh dear. I think that there's so. Okay, I'm gonna start this off with. If you can afford this.
Yes, that's
I think there is a ton of value for money and replayability in here. But if your kids have got to go without food, then this is an easy pass, because you can go and pick up even 5th edition, the 24 version. You're only looking at sort of $50 for the 2, and obviously I suppose you've got to get a monster manual as well, so that's about $80. So actually, it's kind of comparable. But I think it's a better game. It's a better system. But I'm sitting completely on this, and I'm giving it 3 because I do think once you get into 3 figures for a core rule book, and especially that PDF at £50 is just because I quite often take a gamble on a PDF. If £20-30, I go, I'll give it a go. But 50. £50 when I bought this, and I'm like, because I can either double my money and get the physical copy with the PDF, or not. But there is a big part of me in my conclusion. I think, and I said this in January last year when I played Horde Wars Advanced, and I was like, do you know what? I think I found my favorite game of 2025.
Wow!
And I actually think this is going to be an incredibly tough game to beat. It is utterly amazing. However, I will never play it, and I won't own it.
Wow!
Because I just don't have the players for it, and I haven't got the time to learn it, to run it. But if I was still at uni with all my mates, and we didn't all have full-time jobs, and I didn't have 500 other games to play, I think I would buy this instantly.
Wow.
I think that much of the game. I think there's so many good things in here, but this is it's like card games and stuff. I always refer to this is a college game. This is a game for college mates that live in the same house. You know, you can just pull it out whenever you want. You all play it, share the PDFs, share the books, learn it together. I don't think this is for any casual groups. You know, you can't dip your toe in this, play it for a couple of weeks. Oh, we'll come back to it in 6 months because you spent $150.
I think you made a good point. I was thinking, whenever I do these reviews, I think about the group of people I normally play with. And we just would not have the time to go through all of this and do anything like that. It's life's too short.
Yeah.
But that being said, there are some good things in here that we've talked about. I would certainly be up for playing it. You know, if somebody else was going to say, hey, I know these rules backwards and forwards, I'm confident running this with a group of people, I would play it.
Yeah. I'd play it. Yeah.
Certainly play through an adventure. But at the same time, it's probably not high on my list of games to play, put it that way.
No. And as you said before, put the camera, I think that perfectly segues into our rules thing, yep. But we should probably just give the score.
So I'm just tallying it up now. So 10.
So I kind of want to run it. I kind of want you to run it, Chris. And I think, you know, Juan and I would both join in a game. Start at level 1, please. Could you imagine joining a campaign of this and someone, oh yeah, we're going to start. I've got a 5th level adventure. You're like, what?
Oh my God, Jesus. Okay, so final scores out of 25.
Yeah.
So I gave it an 11.5.
Okay.
And you gave it an 18.
So that's 18 out of 25. For me, saying that's the best game of the year. That's not
pretty good. I mean, massive, it lost points for you with the setting.
Yep.
The art was fairly middle of the road, and value for money was fairly middle of the road.
Yeah.
But that being said, the lowest mark any of us gave it was a 2 out of 5 in any of the sections, so it's not bad. I mean, I've no doubt it will continue to do extremely well. I think if I was Paizo, I'd be a little bit worried because I feel like this could easily.
Very good shout.
I think it could very easily take some of the Pathfinder people who like a good bit of crunch to their system.
The only thing I think that might not happen, because if you are well into Pathfinder, you are not going to go and play something else because you've invested all that money and you know the system. Because again, that's not something you can play and then leave for 6 months and then fully understand. Well, I can't anyway. I'm not sure whether they can. But yeah,
cool.
I think the comments are sort of reflecting, you know, the price point, which is you know,
times are tough.
Yeah. The thing I have found weird, how Matt Covell isn't really pushing it much on his YouTube channel.
He is kind of like the grandmaster of kind of understated marketing, though, isn't it? I mean, if you look at his YouTube videos, they are, you know, they're very popular, but he's literally just him. I mean, I'll be honest, I quite like him when he's in interviews and stuff, but I struggle watching his videos because he talks so fast.
Yeah.
You know, his brain works quicker than my ears sometimes.
Okay, so you can get the rules for free, and there's a whole website with all of them on for free. So there you go.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Everyone, if someone had told me that before I bought it, with.
So what are we going to review next week before we get onto the main topic?
I'm getting an awful lot of pressure, and I want to run this myself. So, and I'm interested because I know you love dwarfs. I'm going to pick Oathhammer.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant!
Because I know we've been talking about that over the week.
Yeah.
So that's where I think we should do, because I'm really interested to see your look at it, and obviously you want a copy of it. So we'll
you know, that's always a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the only reason you come on this channel.
That promise of free RPGs, yes.
Yeah. Right, let's get into our topic of the week. So
cool.
rules light versus rules heavy. I made a ton of notes on this. Look at that.
Did you?
We make notes.
Wow.
That was my review notes. This is.
I've done everything on post-it notes. Like
they do giant post-it notes in the Isle of Man, don't they? Or you're really small.
I'm really little.
You're like 2 foot tall.
I'm not.
You're a
very tall.
homunculus.
I think I'm only 5'6". Might have shrunk, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So
I just sit really close to my camera, so you can't tell.
Yeah. So next week, obviously, we'll be giving away a copy of Oathhammer for the same rules as this. So I kind of broke this down into a few things, like sort of explaining the difference between rules light, what we mean by it, the rule-ins, character creation, freedom versus certainty, narrative versus tactical, and then which is better. You didn't do any of that, did you?
No. I looked at it from a much more abstract way.
I'm going to let you take it away for a little bit because I'm conscious I need to start writing some of these names down for the draw. So...
Okay. So I think there's nothing wrong with a rules light system. Likewise, I don't think there's anything wrong with a crunchy rules heavy system. I think it depends what the game is about. So for me, I really enjoy kind of games that are more about the narrative, the story, and I like a system that helps progress that along. Anytime the rules kind of pause all of the flow of everything, I get a little bit frustrated as a player. So that's probably why I gravitate towards more rule light kind of systems. That being said, if you're playing something that is quite complex, like if you're playing a sci-fi game and you had starship things and all sorts of craziness you would want to include in there, then I think a crunchy system is something that somebody within the group would enjoy because it gives them something to do. So yeah, I think we talked quite a lot about Into the Odd, which Adrian was very much of the opinion that's a bit too rules light. And I would agree. Yes. I think in places it is. That's kind of the extreme. If I think back in the day, I can remember playing MERP, Middle-earth Role-Playing, which is, I believe, a diet version of Rolemaster.
Yes.
And, oh, my God, I could not get to grips with that game. It was just stop, start, roll on 15 million tables to do anything. And it just wasn't for me. But yeah, it all depends what you want out of a game. That was essentially my kind of introduction. If you're very combat heavy, you want something very tactical, then yes, rules heavy will be useful to kind of emulate the options you have. Whereas if combat's maybe not such a big deal in your games, like the games I typically play, combat's not a huge deal. It's just something that should be, well, I've always felt should be quite quick. Then yeah, rules light is better. And I think I was starting to think when I was going through all this on my notes, where would the ideal complexity be for me? And I think World of Darkness is pretty much the sweet spot for me. If I'm being honest, it's got a fairly straightforward system. It's robust enough. The combat can be a bit janky. But I recently also picked up the One Ring, which, oh my God, that game has changed my mind about so many things. I don't think I fully understand the combat in that game.
Okay. Maybe we're going to have to do the One Ring then at some stage. I
would quite like to do that.
Because that's in my top 10 all-time games. So,
oh, I can totally see why.
Tread carefully.
Honestly, well, I picked up the book. It was just after Christmas. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. I picked up the Moria book as well. Beautiful book.
Moria's amazing, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. But yeah, I think that level, you've got a system that's robust. It kind of works for everything. You don't have hundreds of different mini systems and things like that. That's kind of where I am with things. How about you?
Okay, so I kind of started off with really looking at how the perceptions of rules light versus rules heavy. So rules light games, I've basically got things like Shadow Dial, Easy D6, which I just recently reviewed. Which bloody hell, why's that not been in my collection for a while? Mort Borg, things like that. And you've got the heavy games, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, Pathfinder, Steel Draw, and things like that. Draw Steel. But you get that argument. Steel Draw. It's joy. So one's too simple. One's too complex and slow. You just get that, the major downside. But the thing I like about rules like games is obviously there's not a lot of rules. You've got no massive skill list, so it's all attributes or stats. The combat, whoosh, everyone just gets a turn, and it just goes around.
Flies by.
Yeah. But the problem, there are less player options, but it does mean you can create characters quickly, which is important. Steel drawer, yeah.
I think the other good point there, Adrian, is that you're kind of I don't know, you're probably going to get to it, but I think if you're just playing like a one shot or a very short campaign, a rules light thing is perfect. And maybe if you're playing a much longer form game over a period of months, then that's the right time for a slightly crunchier game.
Possibly, yeah, but that's where I say on countless videos where Kelsey just got it so perfect.
Oh,
she went, here's a really rules-like game with an amazing, you can just run it into a campaign setting.
Absolutely.
Rules-like games, obviously, lots of skills, detailed systems, lots of, and mostly clear mechanics when you can find it in the rule book. Huge amount of character options and character creations. And combat, because everyone likes combat. One of the big problems of rules-like games is people sometimes find things like Shadow Dark Morborg combat is where you just roll to hit, that's it. Unless you get the players that are actually willing to become a bit more narrative and a bit more interesting. I've on my other channel, I've played some games, some incredible games masters that just describe things really well for a game that's really basic. But in 5th edition, things like that, you do kind of get into how your attack works because the mechanics are quite clear on your character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Of cause and effect. But when it comes to rules and rules like games, I think there's a lot of extra work for the games master because they'll just go, well, I want to try and jump on the back of the elephant, slide down its trunk, do a somersault and hit something. And you go, make a dex roll. That's it. You're just instant of that. Do that in 5th edition. They go, everyone's like this with the rule book going, hold on, there's probably a sub rule for everything because you want to mechanically get it right.
What's one I always remember? I think it was 3rd edition, was grappling or something. It was ridiculously complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, just went on and on and on. But yeah, that's why I've kind of got, it's basically difference between, just calling rules and then, let find the rule is the way I wrote it.
Absolutely. And having a decent person running the game, that makes such a difference.
Yeah, I think Bill's got a good point here. Crunch works really well for board games. But yeah, I'm definitely now, I've always been into crunchy, heavier games. But I can't be bothered with them now. I will play Warhammer Fantasy Role Playing because I've been playing it for years. I love the system and I play it on VTT. Get me around your house to come and play Warhammer Fantasy Role Playing. I'm not coming. Because I don't want to do all that heavy lifting that the VTT does whenever I'm making a skill check.
Yeah, makes sense. Absolutely.
But the one where I do like heavier games, because one of the downsides of Shadow Dark is, or Mortborg or any of that, is you don't get a lot of character options. So it can feel quite limited. But flip side, go to a heavier game. Character creation takes an hour, maybe 2 hours. You've got to watch 20 different YouTube videos to get the best meta compatibility between the classes and the options. And it becomes a game about building a character as opposed to playing a character, I find, with a heavier system.
I recently played I think it was when I was determined to try D&D, the 2024 edition. And I played with a group of people. I played a couple of games with online. And oh my God, the discussions before that game about what build are you going with? What are you doing? It's like, I just want to play a wizard who's a bit silly.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in it.
Yeah, a couple of shout outs for Quintessence. I interviewed the person that wrote that once, and we didn't talk about Quintessence a lot. We ended up talking about bins and rats.
It's because you were asking me to review my own game. Yeah, I personally, I think the action track is pretty good.
Yeah. So I think the other thing I've got in here is about freedom versus I can't read my writing now. Certainty, I think, is what that's what I put. Well, that's not what it says, but that's what I think. That's what I was meant to have written. Because players describe stuff. You've got the one downside though of rules like is there's not a lot of player protection. You might go through a lot of player deaths.
I
over
think
the course
I
of a
think
few
I think
weeks.
this is a weird thing, isn't it? Because you play with, I find you play with people who've only really played D&D. They really don't like failure, and they don't like the possibility of death to their characters. As on the kind of main. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Oh, I won't talk about it, but I have discovered you can buy half and half now. It's amazing.
Yeah, but you wanted it in order, didn't you? You wanted
Yeah.
white bread, brown bread, white bread, brown bread.
Yeah, if I rule the world, that's going to happen. But anyway, I've lost what I was going to say now. You've completely. Oh, I know what
player
it was.
deaths. People are scared of player deaths.
People are scared of player deaths, whereas I feel like if you play a rules-like kind of game, you almost expect it. You almost and failing becomes fun in a way, you know. And I think that's what I quite enjoy about the rules-like games that I play anyway.
Yeah. So I'm just going to write Zarian down on the list because that's a new name.
Oh, somebody's mentioned Pendragon. Do you think that's particularly complex?
I think he'd sent the. Were we talking about Pendragon when we were talking? Maybe, I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
Because we talked about Mythic Bastion Land, and
well, that's kind of killed Pendragon for me a little bit, I'm afraid.
Nothing kills Pendragon.
I knew you were going to say that.
And I do like Mythic Bastion Land. It has really grown. You know, Pendragon is such an amazing game.
It is.
And 4th edition is still the best because you get the Celtic magic, even though Greg hated the fact that it was included. But you don't have to have it there. But it's just nice to have that option.
That's it.
So,
So do we have
you're getting hate now. You are getting hate for picking on Pendragon.
I'll be honest.
And rightfully so.
I never thought Pendragon was that complex. I do quite like their kind of virtue system. I always thought it was quite fun.
Yeah, virtues, and the downside is amazing. So Matt Jones wants to see Quintessence in action.
Yeah, lots of people do, but trying to actually set that up is quite tricky. To be honest with you, we're working on it. We actually, if you're going to be at the Games Expo, I think we have a few people who are going to be running some games of it. We did last year, and they were really weird, but they were really good. Not the people, the games. The people were lovely. The games were just weird.
Yeah. So you get more hate here. You know, it's funny. I was reading Mythic Bastion Land, thinking, why would I not just play Pendragon?
Because Mythic Bastion Land has a lovely sense of weirdness in it that I just don't think you get in Pendragon. You've invited all your Pendragon cronies into this, haven't you?
No, you're just wrong. It's just...
well, that's also a possibility. But...
The weird thing about the new 6th edition Pendragon book, because it's quite thick, it's weirdly the lightest book almost in my collection. It's like a proper thick book, but it doesn't weigh anything. It's like it's printed on air.
Do you know what? I noticed that about the One Ring book. It's crazy light. It's really thick, but it doesn't weigh it. It's very strange. I don't know how they're doing that.
Yeah. It's
right. If that's, I'm definitely saying that wrong. Absolutely correct. That book is 90% knights.
And they are good knights. They are.
They are. Some of them are proper weird and great fun.
And that witch that goes along it.
That's right.
Once we're getting into combat, I've sort of like... Oh, I forgot to say this on... I don't know whether it's draw, steel, or steel draw now. I just don't know.
Let's go with steel draw.
Steel draw. So it's draw, steel, because I know what you're doing. It's the fact that it's so tactical. The other reason I wouldn't play it, and it backs into this, is the combat is tactical. You need to grid out the combat. I don't think you can play it theatre of the mind. So you either need to buy maps and minis, or you have to play out on a VTT. You're not going to be able to just turn up at your club with, you know, a piece of paper, do some characters, and go, right, let's get on with a character. Where rules like games, that's always going to be an option. Gone are my days of, like when you're younger, you're probably the same. You'd have your grid and you'd just draw out maps, and then you'd plonk things on because you didn't really have any minis. You go, this dice represents Jeff, this one's the dragon, here's the badger, and then just go with the fight from there. That's going to be cut into a short, that bit.
Walnuts is what we used to use a lot of the time.
That's the thing. So we've got another new person, Blood Wolf Ninja. So because people now want Oathhammer, Blood Wolf Ninja. We're broken over 20 different commenters.
Bloody hell. That's got to be a new record.
That is good. That is good. So LARP. I've never done LARP. Have you ever LARPed?
I have. if ever we get Charlotte on here, she will tell you of my great hatred of LARP and LARPers.
Right. I'm going to go with and agree with this. Mithras combat is amazing. The maneuver bits that
I've
you
not
can
looked
do
at it, so
pull off. Yeah, thanks for watching my review.
Yeah, you're welcome. You put so many out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm terrified of doing Draw Steel. I really am. I don't know where to start with it. And I think it's going to be like a 2-hour video because my insistence on talking about every page.
I know we were talking about value for money, but there is a lot in there. And we didn't even touch on the monster book, really.
Right, here we go. I want to see Dewin draw a monster wearing steel drawers for a future video.
That can happen, yeah.
It's going to happen. It's going to be a thing. So we got 3 minutes to get your comments in to be in with a chance of the draw. Steel draw.
Did we have a conclusion to our rules light versus crunch thing?
Yeah. So I've just got here, which is better? So Dewin, which is better?
Like I said at the start, depends what you want out of a game. If I'm playing a one-shot, rules light. I don't think I would, these days, don't think I would ever go full-blown crunch. Like Pathfinder is not on my radar or anything like that. But maybe something One Ring-ish, World of Darkness, if I was playing a longer game. But I do like a good rules light system. Like I do really like Into the Odd, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I am sad because I really like Draw Steel. So it's been sat in my and Dungeon Land. I apologize for this. It's been sat in my cart for a couple of days because I nearly bought it at the weekend because I'd had a drink, and I went, nope, let's leave it till the morning. And I've sat on it and I thought, do you know what? I want to talk to you and see what you think. Look at the comments and things like that. And I think I'm done with heavy games. I now only want to be playing light or medium games because there's so many things I want to play and enjoy. To actually get the best out of a heavy game is you need to play it for several months to actually fully invest in it. Yeah. And I'm having this.
I did watch the video where you discussed how many games you've got left in you.
Oh yeah, till we die. Yeah. When
that's you work it out, and it's not really that many, which is a bit depressing.
No. Given the choice, Draw Steel, Warhammer Fantasy Role Playing. I'll play Warhammer, to be honest, on the VTT. And if I've got to go and play it face to face, I'll carry on with the Cosmere campaign. That's
I'll be honest with you. If I was a choice between Draw Steel and Warhammer, I would probably choose Warhammer because I feel like it's just got a bit more flavor to it.
Yeah,
more than anything else. And I wouldn't say I'm super familiar with Warhammer lore or even the system, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. So McCad. It wasn't actually a grim video. It was more when I did it. It was more. I sat down and I think I just turned 50, and I was like, no, I just turned 51, and I was like, do you know what? My dad passed away before he was 75, so I just sat down, worked out how many 3-hour sessions a week, how many hours I've got to play, and then you realise when you look behind you how many books you've got that you're not going to get those played, let alone all the new stuff you keep buying. So, and at some stage you got to go, do you know what? I kind of need the money in my bank account, and now more than ever, to be honest, with what's going on. So to go and sink £100 on a game that I'm unlikely to play is not a good use of money.
Well, here's the weird thing, right? If I genuinely loved the artwork and the flavor and the feel of that game, even if I wasn't going to play it, I would probably buy it.
Yeah.
So that's all. I don't always think buying an RPG is I'm going to buy it to play.
Comment of the video.
Oh, he's going to fix it so you win the draw now, I bet you.
Every week you're winning the draw. So
he just had an easy paper round, that's all.
Yeah. If you quit learning new systems, will you live forever? I'm going to live forever. I remember telling my dad I was going to live forever when I was a kid.
I think you might, to be honest.
You can't stop time. No, I can. I haven't yet. Right, we are past 9 o'clock. Let me. I think that is the comment closed. Right, we have had 24 individual talking, which is the most we've ever had.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, you're going to be so excited when you see this new wheel.
I just don't know what's coming. This is going to blow my tiny mind.
It is. If you don't just get instantly excited. I nearly said something that I probably shouldn't say.
I thought you were going to. Wow, look at all the colours.
But also, if I shuffle this, it then randomizes all the numbers.
Wow.
So I think that's like a slightly better way of doing it. Are the colours acceptable to you, more importantly?
It's better than the other one, yeah. I mean, we're also giving Sky an awful lot of free advertising here.
All right. Well, maybe they'll pay us some money.
I wouldn't hold your breath.
So right. Good luck, everybody. And Chiara, I'm welcome. You're gonna. If she actually wins this, it's gonna be really bad.
Hey, number 10.
10. Okay.
Who is number 10?
Lucky number 10. Oh, it always defaults us back to the far away thing. So number 10 is, where is that it? There's the Excel spreadsheet. Number 10, RGB. He had some more letters in his name.
Yeah, I think it was Mr. 90% Nights, 0% content.
Oh, good. He deserves to win it.
I think it was. No, it wasn't actually. I could see his name further down.
Well, that's assuming he's still here, obviously. So let's just. If not, we will remove and draw again. Where next week? I must make sure I write down the full names.
Yeah. What are we talking about next week?
Oathhammer. Well done for remembering.
Well, I know we're talking
20 minutes ago.
I know we're talking about
the topic. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the review.
Well, I sent you the list of the next 10 things.
You did. Do you want me to just pick one off the list?
Yeah. You
let me just get that list up and we'll talk. Because we, believe it or not, folks, we have actually. I know it doesn't seem it, but we have planned some of these. Just got to find your. Oh no, you didn't send it to me on Discord. You sent it to me over WhatsApp, didn't you?
Did I?
I've no idea.
This is bad. I can't find this guy's message, or lady. I don't know. Where is it?
Talk about Pendragon.
I don't think it was the Pendragon person. I think it was someone really, really early on. It's got to be.
Ooh,
bear with us.
I tell you what. I'll just go down the list.
RG. Here we go. RG Bezerio 989.
There he is. He's just popped up. Yeah, we are talking about you.
Greeting from Texas. Yes, you have won a copy of Steel Draw Steel, whatever it's called.
Steel Drawers.
So, yeah. There you go.
Brilliant.
Well done.
So going down the list, our topic for next week, if I just pick the next one on the list, which I think is quite a good one, is D&D losing cultural dominance in the hobby?
Oh dear, that's going to get us a lot of hate.
That's
it. That's selected. So
there you go. So that's what we'll be discussing next week, as well as reviewing Oathhammer
and giving away a copy like this
PDF copy.
PDF copy. So yeah, RGB, are you on my Discord? Because we just need to work out how we get this across to you. Scott, yeah, you sadly missed the draw. And the whole of the video, actually. Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you join my Discord, send me a message on there and we'll get the copy. I probably should have said this. You're getting a copy of the core rule book and the monster manual. So that's like £50 worth of stuff. So,
yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
Next week is Oathhammer. It's not quite worth as much. And we don't have to read as much because the text is quite a little bit larger.
I know the little sneak peek you did last week. I thought that's a comfortable size text for my eyes, and the artwork looks great as well. Which
it does.
Which I'm
so
quite
for everyone, thank you for all the comments, especially the fact that I'm only 35.
Unbelievable.
We need to know how old Ewan looks.
Too old. Ewan looks too old.
You are younger than me, though, aren't you?
How old am I? I keep forgetting. I'm 40 something. I think I'm 46, something like that.
God, yeah, you're so much younger than me.
All right, Grandad.
Right, everyone, thank you for all the comments. Thanks for joining in. That's
cheers,
the most we've ever had on any of these, bearing in mind.
Tell all your friends, get everybody here next week.
Like, share, subscribe. Jeff Whitty, is Jeff Whitty 48? So has everyone just put, or is he, that's how old he thinks you look? I think that's how old he thinks you look.
We're going to fall out, Jeff. It's the grey beard. When I shave, I look a lot younger, I think.
What? I haven't got any grey.
My grey beard.
I haven't really got any. blonde in the top. Yeah,
Blonde.
That's what I was telling the kids. Whitty's 53. There we go. We'll end on Jeff Whitty's birthday. So yeah, back next week at exactly the same time.
Just saw that one.
So yeah, obviously we're going to be discussing.
I've had a harder life.
Whether living on that island. Well, you lived in London for a while, didn't you? So
I lived all over the place. I live on a very windy rock in the middle of the sea. It's horrible.
Oh, I was going to do that because I shared my view outside. We'll do it next week. I shared the view outside of my house, which is like it opens onto a park, and then you showed your view out of your window.
Just stormy sea, and it was still kind of dark out, I think.
Yeah,
in the middle of the day.
So yeah, I'll get those out and we'll put those up for next week. But yeah, everyone, thank you for the comments. Juan, thanks again for joining us.
No worries at all.
We'll catch up next week, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers. Bye.
See you now. Bye.